What is up, you beautiful people? I am Rito, and in this video I'll be talking about the missing link to your Facebook ads success. Now, a lot of people have been having this confusion about Facebook ads. One specific part of Facebook ads that has just confused so many people. Now, I have covered Facebook ads in stage 1, 2 and 3, and in stage 2 I actually talk about how to launch your first campaigns, and then I talk about how to scale your campaign slowly in stage 3. But one aspect of this is crucially missing. So right now I want to discuss in detail and actually show you examples of how to fill up that missing link. So what's the missing link? The missing link is interests. The holy grail of Facebook advertising, or not so much? Let's discuss. Now, what's happened inside the doer group is that I keep getting these questions, and most people, even though they've started getting sales, they are not able to scale beyond a certain point, and they're just struggling with interests. Now, what's happened is because I've scaled several products to hundreds of dollars a day in ad spend, I found a pattern repetition, and I'm going to be talking about just that. So if you missed stage 1, 2 and 3 of the Facebook ad series, definitely check that out. It's going to really help you launch your Facebook ads for 2018. The strategies is updated for 2018. So watch those videos as well after watching this video. So what is the pattern repetition that I'm talking about? So here's what happens. When I test a new product, I create 3 ad sets as I've explained in the first sale chart in FB ad stage 2. And when I find 1 or 2 or even 3 ad sets that are profitable out of those, I know that this is a winner. So then I dupe them, I try manual bidding, I launch more ad sets around similar interests so that I have a whole bunch of ad sets that are running, and all of them actually start running from just $5 per ad set. And by the way, this pattern repetition has happened 6 times already, so I know this for a fact. Now what happens is once I have all that bunch of ad sets that are generating positive ROI for me, that is greater than 3 ROAS, then all I'm looking for is to create those lookalikes. Once I have 100 sales, I create a lookalike. Once I have 200, I create another lookalike. Once I have 300 purchases, I create another lookalike. And then your campaigns just run on the basis of lookalikes and your retargeting that you've got going on. Now, the whole point of interests only is up to that point till you can raise those 300 purchases. After that, most of your interest ad sets will not perform as good as the lookalikes, so you'll be closing most of them off. But in order to reach those 100, 200 or 300 purchases, you need to know how to create ad sets with proper interests. Now listen, here's the thing. If it's a winning product, even if you have a broad interest going on, that is you have not put in a lot of hard work finding the interest for your ad set, even then it's going to work. If it's a true winning product, even broad interests are going to get you sales. But even then, I need you to understand how my mind works when it comes to selecting interest for my ad sets. So what I'm going to do in this video is actually show you live examples of 3 products that I've chosen. All 3 of them are in different niches, so that should give you plenty of ideas. So what I need you to do is open up your mind and then start taking notes, because this is very important. Let's dive in. Now in FB ad stage 2 video, I actually covered certain rules that you have to have. That is always purchase 100k to 1 million should be the audience size. You have to exclude your 90-day visitors. 23 to 65 should be your age range. Start off with just automatic bidding, and I'll be only discussing US based interests in this video. International scaling I'll be covering in another video. So let's start talking about the meat of the video, that is the interests. Now, the whole basis of generating ideas for your interests stems from the interest categories document that I've created already and shown you in FB at stage 2. So let me just do a quick little overview for you guys. So as you see, interest categories consist of niche keywords, brands, websites, fan pages, associations or clubs, and tangent keywords, which are basically related keywords to your product. Now, Facebook suggestions is going to guide you through the entire process. You don't need to go crazy with your research, because Facebook suggestions actually does a pretty solid job in suggesting you which interests to target. But you still need to give Facebook some sort of indication that what kind of niche are you targeting, right? Now, inside this video, I'll be talking about the first 3 ad sets that you're supposed to launch when you're testing a single product. And the ad sets are going to be, one ad set is going to consist of a broad interest plus engaged shoppers. The second ad set is going to consist of some tangent keywords with engaged shoppers. And the third ad set is going to consist of either brands, if you can find them, or specific keywords around that product, which can be fan pages, associations or clubs, or even websites around it. So the first product I want to show you is this camera zoom lens. So if I was to do interest for this, what would I do? Well, what I've done is I've loaded up right now the place where you can create an ad set right here. And here I've selected United States. Let's do 23 to 65 and let's do all genders. And let's start discussing the interests. Now, what I do recommend doing is creating a sheet like this for yourself so that you have interest categories listed here: niche keywords, brands, websites, fan pages, associations or clubs, or tangent keywords. Now, for the first 3 ad sets, you don't really need that many interests. But if you have to scale your ad sets, if you have to launch more and more ad sets to test that product out and find more winning ad sets, then you need to fill this out with as many interests as you possibly can. And that is only possible if you're actually living inside that niche. So if you actually have that winning product and you actually understand that audience, then you start to realize those audiences on your own and you can start noting them down right here. So the first product I'll be showing you guys is the zoom lens for your phone. So what I'm going to do is first off try out niche keywords, which is mobile photography. All right, so let's get started with this. All right, so let's type in mobile photography. We don't have anything with mobile photography, but when I was doing my initial research, I did come across something like that. So you have mobile photography in quotes right here. So this will then start showing you some suggestions, right? But we have to narrow the audience with engaged shoppers as well. All right. So what I'm looking for is more keywords that are around the mobile photography topic, which is going to be iPhoneography. That's perfect. Then you also have camera phone. Then you have amateur photographer. And suddenly with all of these keywords which are around mobile photography, you've got a potential reach of 470,000 people, which is amazing because what I recommend is anywhere between 100,000 to 1 million. Now, if you have a broad interest right here, instead of all these other interests, let's say you just target one broad interest that is around this product and you have engaged shoppers and it goes past 1 million, then you have to do narrow further. But the whole goal is to keep it under 1 million. All right. So we have got these niche keywords right here along with engaged shoppers for one ad set. Now let's discuss the second ad set that we'll be creating. So I'm going to remove this right now. And the second ad set is going to be around tangent keywords. So we've got mobile phone accessories. What you have to keep imagining is what kind of people are going to buy this. People who are into mobile phone accessories and are engaged shoppers are going to have a ball with this product, right? So we have mobile phone accessories. Let's do iPhone accessories. Let's do mobile accessories. We're doing all accessories kind of things right here. So sometimes even with all of these, you have engaged shoppers in that narrows down the audience of 93,000 people. So we can actually remove engaged shoppers from this. So the audience becomes a slightly larger than this. So we have 130,000 people. So now we've reached a stage where we can actually target this ad set. Now, the third ad set that I would create is going to be around the brand, which is of course iPhone. And what I want to do is club this along with people who are into actually zoom lenses, right? So people who are actually into that like zoom photography. So let's club this with, let's do narrow audience. Let's do zoom lenses. So zoom lens is right here. So you've got iPhone and zoom lens. Suddenly you have an audience size of 770,000 people, right? You can of course target other ad sets with other providers like Samsung or OnePlus or other interests here along with zoom lens, and suddenly you have multiple ad sets that you can create. So you have to keep this open mind that you can create multiple ad sets with your brands. Sometimes if the brand size is not that huge, of course in some niches where you have got smaller brands, then you can club multiple brands inside this same box along with either engaged shoppers or with that niche keyword. And if it's a really small audience of your brands, then you can just have the brands right here. Don't narrow further with any niche keywords or with any engaged shoppers if the audience size of your brands is pretty small. So again, the whole goal is to keep it between 100,000 to 1 million. So whatever you can do in order to club these things together, do that. So next up, I want to talk about this other product called charm bracelet. All right. So who are the people who are going to be into charm bracelets? Well, people who like charm bracelets, people who like jewelry, people who like, brands that are around jewelry, people who like bracelets in general. So you've got all these other audiences. So I have actually dissected some of these right here. So niche keyword is of course charm bracelet, which was very lucky for me when I was searching this. So if I do charm bracelet right here, so it's going to come up as an interest right here. So this is amazing, right? So I'm going to remove zoom lens. So you've got charm bracelet, which is 770,000 people. But if you want even more targeted people, let's do engaged shoppers and charm bracelet, right? So engaged shoppers. All right. Suddenly we have an audience size of 630,000 people who are actually engaged shoppers and also are into charm bracelets. Perfect. So this is exactly what we want for the first broad ad set. The second what we want are some tangent keywords around the same niche. So let's do bracelet. Let me reference back to this document. We have got bracelets and fashion lovers. So let's do bracelet engaged shoppers and let's narrow further by fashion lovers. All right, so let's do fashion lovers. What's the audience size? 18,000 people. So in this case, you see here, because we have the engaged shopping metric also narrowing down the audience. So what we can do is actually remove this so that it's bracelet and fashion lovers. So now we have 23,000 people. Now I'm going to start adding more suggestions right here. So let's do all fashion keywords. So we have got trendy fashion. Let's do fashion and style. Let's do fashion trends and style. Let's do women's fashion. So I just decided to remove this. Let's start off with bracelet and let's narrow down the audience with first off fashion lovers. And then you also have other interests like fashionistas. So you can actually do fashionistas. So in fashionistas, you also have a purchase behavior here. So we do purchase behavior by a profile of fashionista. So let's do that. But then what's recommended is never club purchase behaviors along with interest. So what I want to do is remove fashion lovers from here so that I have bracelet along with fashionistas. So now you have got a nice little audience of 690,000 people. So this is another big tip for you. If in one box, you should have either purchase behavior or additional interest, right? So never club purchase behavior and additional interest inside one single box right here. You can do this with and must also match. So you have additional interest and must also match the purchase behavior of fashionistas. That is perfectly fine. So the third is around brands. So what I'm going to do is actually use brands such as, I did some research here. So we've got Cartier jewelry, and then Facebook is automatically going to start showing me suggestions. So you've got Cartier, let's do jewelry. All right. And suddenly we have all these other brands that come up. Let's do Tiffany & Co. Let's do Swarovski. All right. Suddenly we have all of these things come up. Now let's narrow this down by charm bracelets. So people are into all these brands, but are also into charm bracelets. And suddenly you have an audience size of 190,000 people. Super targeted people are into these brands also, that are jewelry brands, and are also into charm bracelets. So you see where my mind is taking me right now? The third product I want to show you is this bike light. So here we are going to target interests such as bike. People are like into biking, right? Cycling, mountain biking, road cycling, all these other things. So now what I'm going to do here is start showing you suggestions. So before I actually do that, I want to show you the tangent keywords right here. So rather than just target cycling, what I wanted to do was people who would actually buy this bike light, right? So they would be people who are into outdoors and recreation and hiking, because if you're outdoors and if you're, let's say, camping or hiking, then you would need this bicycle light, because you would actually be camping and you would need the light if you're cycling on the road at the middle of the night or something like that, right? So that's why the tangent keywords also include outdoors, hiking and camping. So if you're actually living inside the niche, then you start realizing all the tangent keywords also. The first set of tangent keywords are really easy to imagine, because let's say this charm bracelet, right? Let's say there was a unicorn on it. So then you would have charm bracelets and people are like unicorns. So you get all these tangent keywords around the product itself. So let the product determine what kind of tangent keywords and other keywords you're using. So let me remove this for now and let me start showing you what you can use. So let's do cycling and road cycling. So we're doing cycling. All right, so you've got cycling right here. Let's club it with people who are into road cycling. So 1,060,000 people, let's target it with engaged shoppers. All right, suddenly I've got 800,000 people who are into cycling and into road cycling and are engaged shoppers. And suddenly we have a nice little ad set for ourselves. The next thing I want to show you is certain associations or clubs. So I love cycling and cycling club. So let's remove all of these right here. So let's do cycling club. All right. And here's going to come I love cycling. Let the suggestions determine your course of actions. You've got cycling club and I love cycling. And then we can actually club this with engaged shoppers. So we've got 120,000 people, but we can actually put in some more things like cycling tips, and we can club in other associations like cyclingnews.com. People are into this thing. We've got we've got global cycling network right here. So we've got a nice little audience of cycling club, cycling news, cycling tips, global cycling network, I love cycling with engaged shoppers, 190,000 people. Perfect. Let's go for it. And the next thing is going to be around brands. So after doing some research, I realized that BMX bikes are actually something that a lot of people who are into, cycling are into BMX bikes. So I've put in BMX bike right here. Let's do suggestions. Let's even put in things like freestyle BMX. All right. So let's put in other things. Sometimes it's going to have a potential reach fewer than 1,000 people. And what generally happens if you add some certain suggestions, like let's add BMX, suddenly it's going to come up here. But Let's remove freestyle BMX just to see. All right, now you start seeing the potential reach. So let's narrow this down by, again, let's do engaged shoppers right here. So engaged shoppers are basically people who have clicked the shop now button in the past week. Let's do BMX racing right here. Remove the broad BMX one. So people who are into BMX bike and BMX racing and are engaged shoppers. So suddenly you have a nice audience of 780,000 people. That is people who are interested in this brand right here, which is a proper cycling brand, and are also engaged shoppers, right? So this is how my mind works when it comes to, finding initial interests. But I'm going to tell you what happens next. These initial ideas should be actually perfect to take you forward with your first 3 ad sets, even 4, 5, 6 ad sets. But once you start getting more sales, once you start interacting with the comments in your, Facebook ad posts, once you start living inside this niche, and then you're going to find your other brands, associations, clubs, and other things inside this niche all on your own, right? So that just automatically that happens. It's happened with me 6 times already with my 6 winning products. And remember that pattern repetition thing I told you. The whole goal of finding all these interests is to launch your ad sets so that you can reach those first 100, 200 and 300 purchases. Once you have done that, you can start launching your lookalikes, and the lookalikes are then going to take over, and then you can just forget about those interests, right? So whenever you launch a new product, these tips should help you succeed right here. So I do hope this helped. If it did, hit the thumbs up right below and make sure to subscribe to the Flying Start Online channel, guys. We do things here differently. So a few days ago, I actually did a community poll on the Flying Start Online channel. What I asked was, what topic do you want me to dive deeper into? Now, I gave options for Facebook ads, SEO, and AdWords, and 1,400 people actually voted for this. I'm not sure if you can see this, but 1,400 people voted for this, and 63% people said they want FB ads and more advanced strategies. So this video right here is going to be added to that playlist. I'm actually going to create a new playlist which has all my Facebook ad videos. I'm going to be diving deeper into international scaling, manual bidding, and a lot of more interesting Facebook ad scaling strategies, because a lot of my followers have actually started getting a lot of sales and they want to scale their ads further. So that is why I want to create this new playlist with new videos that are going to be dropped every single week about Facebook ads until I'm happy and satisfied that I've covered pretty much everything that I have in my brain that's going to help you with your Facebook ads journey. I listened to you guys. I did the poll and I'm listening to you guys. 63% of you guys wanted this and I'm doing this for you guys. So make sure you comment below and let me know what you think of this. And until next time, okay, ta-ta, bye-bye.